error detection. So in this lecture we will be discussing about how we are going to detect a particular error. Okay, so what are the different types of error detection techniques? Okay, let us start. So actually our goal of error checking is to correct the errors, but most of the time we need to detect the errors also. So error detection is simpler when compared to error correction. This error correction techniques we will be seeing later, but our discussion for now is limited to error detection. So one error detection mechanism is to send the data unit twice. So if you see here, this is the sender, let us assume this is the receiver. Now the sender is going to send some bits of information, that is 0 1 0 0 0 1 0 0. So what the sender does is it sends the every data unit twice. So if you see here, so the data unit has been sent by the sender twice. Now the receiver will do a bit by bit comparison between these two units of data, that is whether this bit is equal to this bit or not, this bit equal to this bit or not, and so on up to the last bit. If the bits in this first unit is equal to the bits in the second unit, then the receiver is going to receive the data and it is going to process this data. So this type of error detection mechanisms makes the system completely accurate. But what is the drawback? Here the system will become slow, because for each of the time the sender has to send the same data unit twice, and also here the checking mechanism, that is the receiver has to check each and every bit by bit. So the system will become slow, that is it is accurate but it is slow, which means the transmission time is double. So generally we would have sent only one unit of data, but here we are sending 2 units of data. So this makes the transmission time to be double, so which takes more time to compare everything bit by bit. So to avoid this, what we will be doing is, that is to avoid the transmission of the same data unit twice, what we will do is we will be including some extra information in the original data, that is this is original data, right? Now we will be including some extra information in this original data, which is nothing but redundancy. So by using the help of redundancy, we are going to detect whether the received information is having error or not. So let us see how redundancy works. So this is the sender node. So this is the actual data which the sender wants to send. Now this actual data is appended with some redundancy. Now this is the complete message, that is this is data and redundancy. Now it is sent through the transmission medium. Now whenever it reaches the receiver node, again this complete message, that is data and redundancy, will be received by the receiver node. Now it is checked. If this particular data is correct, then the receiver is going to retrieve the original message and it will discard the redundant bit. If this particular message is not correct, then the receiver is going to reject the data. So how it is going to detect whether this particular original message is correct or not depends upon the type of technique we employ in appending the redundant bit in the source, right? So how we are going to append the redundant bits and all, we will be discussing in the forthcoming discussion. Okay, so this is all about redundancy. So simply redundancy is nothing but adding some extra bits to the original message is called redundancy. So why we are going for redundancy? Because sending a data unit twice will take a lot of time. It may be accurate but it is slow. So for this is the reason we are going to the concept of redundancy. Let us now discuss about the different types of error detection techniques. The first one is simple parity check. The second one is two-dimensional parity check. It is also called as longitudinal redundancy check, that is LRC. That is two-dimensional parity check is also otherwise called as longitudinal redundancy check. The third type of error detection technique is cyclic redundancy check, and the fourth type of error detection technique is checksum. Let us now see the first type of error detection technique, parity check. The parity checking error detection mechanism is the most common and it is the least expensive error detection mechanism. So it can be either simple or it can be two-dimensional. Okay, simple parity check is one type and two-dimensional parity check or longitudinal redundancy check is also another type of parity check. So now let us see the first one, simpler parity check. So here we are going to add a redundant bit, or this redundant bit is also called as parity bit. So here the parity bit is added to every data unit. So what we will do? We will count the total number of ones including the parity bit, that is including the redundant bit. We will count the total number of ones. We may either follow even parity or we may either follow odd parity. We will see what is even parity and odd parity when we take an example here. Okay. So now let us see, this is the sender node, this is the original data, that is 11000001. Now for this data we are going to calculate the parity bit. So here we have added a parity bit 1. See here, originally in the data how many number of ones are there? 1, 2 and 3 number of ones are there. We have added 1 here. Why? We are following even parity. So our requirement is to make the total number of ones even. So here how many number of ones are there? 1, 2 and 3. This is 3 number of ones, means we are having odd number of ones. So if we are following even parity, we have to add another 1 here. So for this reason now we have added a parity bit 1 here. Now it is sent through the transmission medium. Now the same bits will be given to the receiver. Now it is going to count the bits. Okay. So whenever it is going to count the bits, if the total number of ones are even, okay, then we can say that the message which is received by the receiver through this transmission medium is not having any error. So if the total number of ones are even, it is going to accept the information. That is what it will do. It will now drop this particular parity bit from the original information and accept the data. But if the total number of ones in the received information are not even, then what it will do? It is going to reject the data. So this is how a simple parity check error detection mechanism is going to work out. Let us make this clear with the help of an example. So let us take the ASCII representation of the letters W, O, R, L and D. So these are the corresponding ASCII representations for the English letters, small letters W, O, R, L and D. So here if we are following even parity, let us see how we are going to add the redundant bit or parity bit. So how many number of ones are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total number of ones are 6. So we are already having even number of ones, that is 6, right? So for this reason we are appending a 0 bit. Now again count the number of ones here. We are again having 6 ones which is even. So here also how many number of ones are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also total number of ones are even. So we are adding an extra bit, redundant bit or parity bit 0. So here also total number of ones are 4. So here we are adding 0. So here also total number of ones are 4. So adding 0. But here if you see the total number of ones are 3, that is odd. As we are following the even parity, we have to make the total number of ones even. So for this reason we are adding extra 1. So here now the total number of ones become 4. So this is how we are going to convert the given message into the even parity message. That is we are adding the redundant bit and finally we will send this information to the receiver. Now this is the sender information. Now this information will be sent to the receiver through the transmission medium. So now up to now which process has completed? The original data has been taken, we have calculated the parity bit and now we have added either 1 or 0 in our original data transmission. Okay. So now you see this is the original information which we are going to send through the transmission medium. Now the receiver is going to receive the information from this transmission medium. So now what happens? Let us assume that the receiver has received this information as shown in the example 3. So now see here, the fourth bit is originally it is 0, but after transmission the receiver has received that the fourth bit is 1 in the first block, and the second block we got correct one, and in the third block again the fifth bit is actually 0. Now it is transformed to 1 due to noise, and the fourth block is okay, the fifth block is also okay. So now what happens? See what we discussed in the algorithm. Now it is going to count the number of bits. If the total number of ones are even, then only it is going to drop the parity bit and accept the data. But count the number of bits here. How many bits are 1 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So the total number of ones here are odd. So this information will be rejected because the total number of ones are not even. So now let us check this second data unit. Total number of ones are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 even. So this will be accepted. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, originally we have 1, 2, 3, 4. But here we have 5 number of ones. So this is not even parity. So here also it will be rejected. This will be accepted and this will be accepted. So these two blocks, this information and this information will be rejected because the total number of ones are odd. Okay. So now coming to the performance of simple parity check. The simple parity check algorithm can detect all single bit errors. And the other thing is that it can also detect burst errors only if the total number of bits changed is odd. That is, in the data transmission, if the total number of bits that are changed are odd number only, then only this simple parity check can detect the burst errors. If it is not, it cannot detect the burst errors. That is, let us take an example. This is our original data. So see, this is 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So what are the total number of ones here? 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So the total number of ones are 6. That is, now we are going to follow the even parity here. So now let us assume that this data is being transmitted through the transmission medium. So now here if you see, the first bit is okay. All the other 3 bits, see, these 3 bits are converted from 0 to ones, right? And all other are okay. So now count the total number of ones here. How many number of ones? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So now we got the total number of bits are 9. So we assume that we are following even parity, but at the receiver we got odd number of ones. So this simple parity check algorithm will now do what? It will be simply rejecting this one. So it is capable of detecting the burst error also, right? That is, burst error means it can be capable of detecting the changes in more than one bit. Okay. So what is burst error and what is single bit error we have discussed in the previous class. And now let us take another example. So here the original data is 1 0 0 and so on, right? So the first bit has been changed to 0 and the second 2 bits have been changed to 1 and 1. So count the total number of ones here. We have 7, but originally we have how many? We are following even parity, right? So here we have odd number of ones. So this information will also be discarded, and here also this information will also be discarded because the total number of changes in the bits are odd. So at this moment of time, the single parity bit algorithm can detect the burst errors. But now let us see what does this single parity bit checker is going to do if the total number of changes in the bits are even. So this is our original data. So how many number of bits are changed here? 2. So when 2 bits are changed, let us count the total number of ones. What are the total number of ones? 8. So here what are the total number of ones? 6. So here we are following the even parity, remember. So when the receiver receives this one, how many number of ones are there here? Even number of ones. So the receiver thinks that the transmitter has sent the same information because there is change in these 2 bits, but these 2 bit change is even. For this reason, the parity bit checker cannot identify the change. So here also, originally how many number of ones are there here? 6. So here this bit has been changed from 0 to 1 and this bit has been changed from 1 to 0. But totally the total number of ones here is 6. That is even parity, right? So it assumes that this is also correct. But is this correct actually? This is the original data, but we have changed in this second bit and fifth bit. But the receiver does not know because it simply checks whether the total number of ones are even or not. So here also total number of ones are 4. So even parity. Here it is also following even parity. Here it is also following even parity. So the receiver thinks that it is a correct data transmission only. So finally what I mean to say is that the simple parity checker can detect the burst errors, but only if the total number of bits changed are odd. But if the total number of bits changed are even, then it cannot detect the burst error. So this data, even though the data is wrong, the receiver is going to receive the information and it is going to take that it is the correct information even though this is a wrong information. So this is all about the simple parity check technique. The second type of error detection mechanism is two-dimensional parity check, or it is also called as longitudinal redundancy check, LRC. So let us now see how this error detection mechanism is going to work. So in this method, a block of bits is organized in a table with rows and columns. Then as a second step, the parity bit for each column is calculated and a new row of 8 bits is generated, which is the parity bit for the whole block. So after calculating the parity bits, these new calculated parity bits will be attached to the original data and it is sent to the receiver. Let us now see with the example. So let us consider that this is the original data. So let us say we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 blocks of original data. Each block is of 8 bits. The first step is a block of bits are organized in a table with rows and columns. So this first block of bit is organized into a first row, second block of bits organized to a second row, third block of bits organized to a third row and fourth block of bits organized to the fourth row. So now this is the first step. The second step is now parity bit is generated for each column. So now first of all we have arranged the blocks in the rows. Now we are going to calculate the parity bit for each and every column. So this is the first column, this is the second column, this is the third column, fourth column and so on up to 8th column. So here also we are following the even parity only. So for this column, the first column, what is the parity bit we have? It is 0. Why? Because the total number of ones are even, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we will have 0 as the parity bit. For the next column, how many number of ones we have in this second column? Only 1. So in order to make it even parity, we have to add another bit 1. So the parity bit is 1. For the third column, even number of ones are there, that is 2. So we add 0. For the fourth column, we have odd number of ones, that is 1, 1 and 1. So to make it even parity, we have to generate 1. So like this, we are going to generate all the values for each and every column. So this is called as LRC, that is longitudinal redundancy check. So what is the third step? Along with the original data, now we have obtained the parity bits for all the columns. So now this will be considered as a new block of data. So this new block of data which we got will be appended to the original data. So this complete message is original data plus LRC which we have obtained. Now this will be sent to the receiver and now the receiver processes and it again checks there, and if there is any error it discards, and if there is no error the receiver is going to receive the data. So let us consider some points about LRC. The LRC increases the likelihood of detecting the burst errors, which means an LRC of n bits can easily detect a burst error of n bits. But there is a drawback here. Let us see with an example. That is, if 2 bits in one data unit are damaged, let us see an example shortly. If 2 bits in one data unit are damaged and 2 bits in another data unit are also damaged exactly in the same position, then the LRC checker will not detect an error. Don't worry, we will see with an example. So now let us see, this is the original information which the sender has sent, right? So this is the first block, second block, third block and fourth block. So when the receiver is receiving, so this is the first block, second block, third block and fourth block, and this is the LRC. If you see here, the LRC is 10101010, right? So this is the LRC. So the first block, there is no change in the transmission, so there is no problem. For the second block, there is no change. See, for the third block, actually the original data is like this, that is 00111101. And if you see the third block, this bit is not changed, this bit, this bit, this bit are also not changed. So this bit has been changed from 1 to 0 and this bit is changed from 0 to 1. Okay. Now the fourth block also. So the original fourth block is 10101001, but here it is 1010. Here 1 is changed to 0 and at this point. So what we told that the drawback of LRC is that if 2 bits in one data unit are changed at a particular position, that is, let us say this is first position, this is second position, third position and fourth position. In this data block, the bits are changed at the second position and fourth position, and also in the another data block also the bits are changed at the second position and fourth position. So if in one block some bits are changed at some positions, and if at another block some bits are changed at the same position as in the other block, then the LRC cannot detect the change. So we will see for example. So now the receiver is going to receive the information like this, that is these bits have been changed due to noise during transmission. Now the receiver is receiving this one. So this is the first block, this one, this is the second block, this one, this is the third block which is the receiver received. Okay, so this is the fourth block the receiver has received. Okay, so originally at the sender, while calculating LRC, we got 10, 10, 10 and 10. So now let us calculate the LRC for this block which has been received. So what is the parity generator for this one? It is 0, right? For this one it is 1. For this one it is 0. Why? Because it is even number of ones. For this one it is 1. So like this we have 10, 10, 10 and 10. So what is the original LRC which has been calculated at the sender? 10, 10, 10. So what is the LRC calculated by the receiver? It is also 10, 10, 10. So what will the receiver do now? The receiver mistaken that the data which has been sent by the sender is correctly received. Why? Because it compared the LRC of the received data units with the LRC received within the data unit. That is, this is the LRC calculated by the receiver and this is the LRC received from the sender. So when it is comparing these two values, these two are same. So what will the receiver think? The receiver thinks that the data it has received from the sender through the transmission medium is correct. But is it correct? No. This bit has been changed, this bit has been changed, this bit and this bit has been changed. That is, it is actually a wrong information received, but the receiver mistaken that it is a correct information. Why? Because in the first unit the data has been changed at this particular place and this particular place, and in the other unit also the data has been changed in the same places. For this reason, this longitudinal redundancy check cannot detect these burst errors. So this is the only drawback of LRC. Thank you.